It's Thursday, October 2nd, 2025, and you're tuned into the Blue Lightning AI Daily Podcast. I'm Zane, caffeinated and cautiously optimistic. Also, heads up, this episode was made with AI. If you hear a tiny glitch, we kept it. It's our third co-host.
And I'm Pippa. If the bot blurts, we roll. Today's story is big. Tencent just open-sourced HunyuanImage-3.0, their new text-to-image model. We're talking weights, inference code, the whole buffet. Let's go.
Quick context, HunyuanImage 3.0 is an 80 billion parameter mixture of experts model that treats text and image tokens as one sequence in an autoregressive setup. Translation, it reads words and pictures together, so composition and prompt fidelity should tighten up.
Wait, native multimodality as in it's reasoning across text and pixels at the same time, not bolting on a vision encoder later? That's spicy. Is this a tweak or a game changer?
Bigger than a tweak. Most open models you've used, Stable Diffusion, FLUX, are diffusion-based. This is a natively multimodal autoregressive approach plus a 64-expert MoE, about 13B active per token at inference. That's a different lane for open image gen.
So who should care? Designers, marketers, YouTubers, meme lords? Or more like agencies with server rooms?
Both, with asterisks. For solo creators, the images look strong and composition is stable. For studios, the real win is control. Open weights mean private deployment, fine-tuning to house style, and auditability for compliance.
Let's sanity check the facts. According to the model card on Hugging Face, the weights and inference code are up now. And Tencent's GitHub has the license and docs. That's live, not hype live. Sources in our brain, Hugging Face and GitHub.
Yep. Hugging Face hosts Tencent.HunyuanImage 3.0 and the code's on GitHub under the Tencent Hunyuan community license. If you're deploying at scale or in specific regions, read those terms first. This isn't a do-whatever MIT party.
Okay, but how good is it? Pretty pictures are table stakes in 2025. Does it smack Midjourney around?
In our hands-on tests, it's competitive but not the absolute leader. Photorealism is convincing, composition holds, detail like hands and jewelry are generally solid. Tricky prompts still trip sometimes, and classic caveat text inside images remains imperfect.
Oof, typography. So it's not beating ideogram on letters. If you're doing posters or pack shots, you'll still nudge type in Photoshop or Figma. But for lifestyle, portraits, mood boards, vibes are vibing?
Exactly. Think storyboards, pitch decks, product shots for early concepts. Also, there's an Instruct variant. HunyuanImage 3.0 Instruct, meant to follow directions more tightly, that could save rounds of prompt wrangling on brand work.
Hardware time. What's the damage to my wallet and why is my GPU crying?
Weights are roughly 170 gigabytes. Tencent suggests about 3 80-gigabyte GPUs for real-time with 4 recommended, so great for studio rigs or cloud workstations. Hobbyists might tap community endpoints or slower local runs with quantization.
Meme caption writes itself, me booting HunyuanImage 3.0 on my 12-gigabyte laptop. I fear no man, but that thing. Anyway, who's threatened? Midjourney and DALL are still gorgeous but closed. OpenSide has FLUX and the Stable Diffusion family. Where does this sit?
It puts pressure on the OpenStack, especially for enterprise. Compared to FLUX.1 Dev and SDXL SD3 variants, the native multimodality plus MoE is a different bet. Fewer prompt disconnects, better subject placement, and an architecture that's easier to extend in the open.
And Tencent's been busy beyond stills. Reuters reported they open-sourced 3D generation tools earlier this year. Hunyuan 3D-ish stuff. So this feels like part of a pipeline play. Stills today, product shots, and previs tomorrow. Big ecosystem energy.
Totally. If you're a studio, imagine a pipeline, generate key art in HunyuanImage 3.0, feed assets into 3D tooling for turntables, then comp into video. Owning the weights means you can optimize latency, cache, and control cost per asset.
Speaking of cost, this isn't free. The weights cost $0, the GPUs do not. But for teams paying per image fees elsewhere, self-hosting can normalize spend, especially at scale. It becomes must-have if compliance or privacy is your boss.
For a solo YouTuber, this is nice to have if you rely on hosted endpoints. The edge is consistency, house style fine-tunes, tighter adherence so thumbnails and channel art look on brand without hand-holding. Time saved per shot, maybe 20 to 40% fewer prompt iterations.
Podcasters, cover art variants, episode highlights as photoreal scenes. TikTokers, batch a week of thumbnails with the Instruct model guiding composition. Graphic designers, ideation first pass, then type cleanup manually. Writers, storyboard beats with consistent characters.
Filmmakers could use it on set for previs beats or quick location comps, assuming you've got a beefy workstation truck or a cloud rig. It's not a phone-friendly model today.
This native multimodality thing, does it actually reduce prompt spaghetti?
In practice, yes, because it's modeling text and image tokens in one stream, long prompts with positional instructions. 2 subjects, left and right, backlit neon, shallow depth, tend to land more consistently. It's not magic, but it's more obedient.
Do we have benchmarks?
Nothing definitive that dethrones the leaders. Our editorial read, strong realism, solid alignment, still behind the very top proprietary stacks on edge cases and complex typography. It matches the 2025 pattern. Open's closing the gap, not surpassing it yet.
License watch, this matters. The Tencent Hunyuan community license allows commercial use but has conditions around scale and geography. If your campaign touches millions of users or certain jurisdictions, legal needs to peak before you ship.
And safety guardrails? Expect standard content filters. If your art leans on edgy or trademark-adjacent territory, you may face blocks or need to tune a private instance that fits your policy envelope.
What about integrations? Is this dropping into everyone's favorite UI tomorrow?
Not instantly, but the community moves fast. With weights on Hugging Face and code on GitHub, expect LoRa-style adapters, style packs, and plugin bridges to pop up. Studios will wire it into dams and pipeline tools. That's the upside of Open.
Compared to what we covered on the blog with FLUX and some SDXL fine-tunes, this feels less new filter and more new foundation. The autoregressive native multimodal angle is the twist.
Agree. Also keep an eye on the Instruct variant maturing. If it reduces prompt iterations for campaigns by even 25%, that's tangible time back for creative directors.
Any deal breakers right now?
If you need perfect text and image or you're GPU constrained, it's not your daily driver. And if your legal team isn't comfy with the license, you'll pause. Otherwise, it's one of the most consequential open releases this year for visual creators.
I love it as an own your stack play. Build a signature look, audit your outputs, keep client work private. Also the vibe, I'm not locked in, I'm locked and loaded.
Last practical tip. If you're testing without 4 80GB cards, try cloud sessions for bursts, or look for community inference endpoints. Expect slower generations, but you can still evaluate quality and prompt adherence.
Sources. For the nerd receipts, model card and downloads on Hugging Face, code and license on GitHub, and Reuters for Tencent's broader open source 3D push. We check those before rolling mics.
Final take. HunyuanImage 3.0 doesn't beat the prettiest closed models on every shot, but it gives creators something arguably more valuable: control. Open, modern architecture, and room for the community to push it forward.
And that's the show. If you make something dope with Hunyuan Image, tag us. Thanks for hanging with the Blue Lightning AI Daily Podcast. For news, updates, and tutorials on your favorite AI tools, hit bluelightningtv.com. Appreciate you all. Catch you next time.